Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of our Hearts of Iron 3 Puppet Master series. I'm starting to kind of get the feeling of being just a bit drained by this war against the Soviet, but it's still happening. Last time, we basically attacked the Soviets who were endangering Warsaw. We defeated them, we drove them back. But unfortunately, we were pushing them back in central Poland, they were pushing us back in Romania and southern Poland. So, it's all been a bit of much of a muchness lately. We push, they push, we gain ground, they gain ground. So as I said, I'm feeling a bit drained. But anyway, let's see how this goes. And I will also add that I still do not have the microphone on this episode, so it is post-commentary. And you're going to have to get used to it, because it's going to be for the 7 episodes after this as well. But, anyway, as you see, we're looking at Warsaw now. We've been doing our little offensive. We're actually moving forward pretty well. We're kind of approaching Brest-Litovsk. But, the Soviets are on the East Prussian border up here. Not great for us. I can actually say, while the average Soviet division is worse than the average German division, and possibly even our average Allied division, they've got heavy armour and they've got mechanised divisions scattered amongst their forces, and those are being really hard for me to beat, even though I do have significant numbers of tank destroyers in my army. Or, maybe significant is the wrong word, I've got some tank destroyers spread out with my troops. My SS Corps, which you see me looking at now, is actually just retreated back, retreated's the wrong word, relocated to Danzig in order to restore and just see how the battle goes. I'm getting a bit concerned about my manpower, so I'm trying to kind of hold my troops back for a bit. Just don't want them taking too many losses. Basically the easiest way to lose the war as Germany, or as really any country, is to just run out of manpower. And it doesn't matter kind of how awesome you are, you just don't have the troops to stop the enemy. What I'm thinking here though is I can attempt a sneaky little encirclement. Basically trap a couple of Soviet divisions against the Lithuanian border. Nothing big, but it should be easy, and taking a few divisions out of the fight is very good. And those are my replacement SS divisions coming. They'll be ready in January 1945. So, a little bit to go. It's currently just gone into October, which unfortunately means I think we're heading into winter, so not an ideal time for offensives, but honestly, I feel like if we wait and attack in summer, we'll probably run out of manpower by then. So it's kind of a case of now or never. And actually looks like the troops are attacking without my SS, the AI, which is kind of nice. But I really would prefer to get an encirclement off here, if it's at all possible. So I'm sending the 2nd SS Corps in first, just to capture that province here with fortifications. Bialystok, or the 1st SS Corps I should say, will move through them and up to the Lithuanian border, and hopefully they will trap 3 Soviet divisions. As I said, nothing hugely important, but it's 3 divisions we won't have to fight later on or all the way to Moscow. I say optimistically because we're much closer to Berlin than we are to Moscow. And the Soviets are counterattacking, which is kind of okay for us. We don't want them to escape early. Well, it looks like we've actually pushed back a bit, maybe around Lvov, but we're still losing ground in Romania. Actually, they're getting quite close to Bucharest, unfortunately. Feeling a bit sorry for Romania. I kind of completely screwed up my invasion of them and basically destroyed their military, so they're not doing a very good job of defending themselves. And they did for a while when the Soviets weren't there, and we managed to capture Odessa and push forward a little bit. Oh, and it looks like that encirclement's not going to happen because the AI, the Yugoslavs in particular, captured the province we were trying to encircle them in. But we will just continue to attack the Soviets, gain a little bit more ground, and wear the divisions down further. I'm actually starting to think that maybe just these attacks are the best way to go for my SS troops. Basically, they've got massive firepower on the offensive, they don't do very well on the defensive, But every time they fight, they inflict pretty heavy manpower losses on the Soviets that they are fighting against. So maybe if I just keep them attacking, they'll actually wear the Soviets down quicker than they get worn down themselves. Seems kind of stupid that I'm trying to beat the Soviet Union in a war of attrition, but at this point I think it's basically my only hope. Oh, and here we go, just switching things up a bit, heading south now. It's a bit more of an ambitious encirclement, trying to go down and capture Brest-Litovsk, but there's probably a decent 15 to 20 Soviet divisions in there, and even the Soviet Union can't afford to take those kind of losses. Yeah, they can't take those kind of losses and expect to live or win the war or whatever. But I'm just going to get my divisions moving first, and Soviet counterattacks have begun. Just trying to work out who's going to hold where, because I actually don't have that many SS divisions. I've only got 5 of them in total. And this is going to be at least a 4-province encirclement. So I'm only going to have 1 to spare, and everybody else is going to have to be defending it by the end, just to keep my lines intact. Captured Nauru and heading south. We're doing pretty well here. Moving south. Brest-Litovsk could put up a bit of resistance since it is a city and it is fortified. And it actually looks like our lines have already been broken. There was no one to defend Straub, the headquarters units, and they've had to retreat. But looks like some Hungarian movements will be moving into Bialystok, and hopefully they'll be able to hold the line for us. Because my guys are going forwards here. Taking into Brest-Litovsk. Well, we will be shortly. There's the Hungarians. They must be fighting. The Soviets haven't been defeated yet, though. Of course, now I'd have a decent encirclement to move, well, decent chance to move north and do an encirclement. But my headquarters have been attacked again, had to retreat again. And here we go, attacking Bialystok, and yeah, it's not going as well as the previous battle, but we're still winning. And once von Streppenberg's division comes into play, I'm sure we'll do a lot better. And you look at the manpower losses these divisions have sustained here. They, as I said, my SS divisions do a lot of damage when they're attacking. It's just a combination of armour, rocket artillery, engineers to, you know, keep them in the fight for longer, and tank destroyers. Just gives them awesome firepower. And the Soviets have collapsed. We've captured Brest-Litovsk. And I've got one of my divisions was completely worn out. But we'll move, I can't read that guy's name in the pre-render screen because it's a bit blurry. We'll move whoever that is across the river and hopefully they'll complete the encirclement. Which would be good. This is possibly even the biggest encirclement we've managed in the war so far. Well, I say that, haven't completed it yet, and I do have a tendency, well, of ruining these things at the last minute. And as you see, the Soviets advanced 1 province, so now my encirclement's not actually going to cut them off. So that is absolutely brilliant. I did say I have 1 spare division, so I'll just have to send that one to finish this encirclement off somehow. Gonna have to link up with Model there, single infantry division. And the attack's not going well so far. We're attacking across a river. Do have engineers, but still. Oh, and they've countered our tactics. Sending another division into support here. And once they get into the fight, hopefully that'll be enough to win this battle for us. But it looks like there might not be a chance. We're losing organisation rapidly. Come on. No, okay, it's not to be. I'll just have to wait a bit and then attack with another division. And unfortunately the rest are all actually quite worn down, so... I don't actually have a division to spare because I've got 2 of them with no organisation. Oh, but it looks like the AI might be doing this... Oh! We've been cut off in the north as well. Okay, let's try and fix that. Mongolians. I believe those Mongolians couldn't stop us, so we'll get our lines back secure there. But Medell's fallen back, so there's no hope of linking up with him. We're going to have to go with a much smaller encirclement and try and encircle that single mechanised division. Wasn't it just like 1 minute ago? This is going to be the biggest encirclement we've managed so far in this war, and now it's like we might capture one mechanised division. Yay! And it actually looks like we won't, because the Hungarians just drove them out of that province. So unless we can capture this big one that the Mongolians and the Soviets are guarding very quickly, the mechanised will be able to retreat and slip out of our encirclement. And they just have, they've made it there, so when they're defeated they'll pull back. And this encirclement's a failure. Right, that's a bit gutting. Well, at least I inflicted a lot of casualties on the Soviets, and my manpower situation... Oh, no, okay, my manpower situation's awful. That seems to be a 0 manpower spear for me. So, that's not good. But, gonna keep attacking. Don't let something like not having any replacement soldiers stop me from fighting a war. Because I'm kind of stupid like that. Really, at this point I should be just defending completely. Basically entrench my troops, let them attack me, let them suffer the losses and I can rebuild hopefully. But that's not the way I do things. I'm out to win this. So I'm continuing to attack even though I've got no manpower. Just in the hope that I might kill more Soviets and kill them quickly enough that basically the fact that I've run out of soldiers doesn't matter. And of course I say that I've still got more divisions being built. I've got a lot of manpower tied up in my production queue. So they're going to keep churning out new divisions, which is kind of bad because I'd rather have experienced divisions and just feed replacements into them as opposed to getting new and inexperienced divisions. But we'll do it this way. Or we are doing it this way. Okay, we're holding Brest-Litovsk. Sinkang has joined the Comintern. Oddly enough, whenever I see Xinjiang written in this game, I always go Sinkang and go, what's that? And I can't pronounce it. And I realize, it's Xinjiang. I know what that is, but whatever. It's the whole 1940s Chinese spelling throws me off, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, yep. Got a few extra spies, I don't really need them, so I'll cut that back, and I'll get a few more officers, because I need more of those. Well, I need more of lots of things. So Poland's doing alright. Netherlands is a puppet, so they're not going to surrender to me. Canada, I'm not doing anything against those. UK, 98.7% of the way to surrendering. Am I sending my spies to the UK? Yes, I am. Hopefully they'll finish them off. Basically the way that my spies finished off the Greeks and they finished off the Portuguese by... I almost conquered those countries and then my spies convinced them to surrender. Now, of course I have occupied all of the United Kingdom and I've been making some gains against them in Africa as well. So hopefully it wouldn't be that hard for my spies to convince them to give up and effectively swap sides since I'll make them my puppet. Get my SS to do something. It's just... I think we have to pull them back. They don't have a lot of organisation at the moment. Well, a few of them don't. And there is a sneaky encirclement opportunity I can do just south of Brest-Litovsk. I do have 2 divisions in fighting condition, but we'll do nothing for now. There's another encirclement here against the Black Sea. That could well be worth it. I could also go north up against the Lithuanian border. Xinjiang is mobilising. Okay, I'm going to slowly pull the SS troops back. Just because I don't want the front to collapse the way that usually happens when I pull my SS troops out. I want to hold Brest-Litovsk. Not because it's just for symbolic reasons. It was a long time ago we were fighting around Brest-Litovsk, and we haven't really gotten close to it since, but now, as you can see, we're sitting in that city. And actually we're approaching Lvov again, which we lost last episode. We are pushing the Soviets back. They were on the East Prussian border at the start of this episode. They were back on almost the Hungarian border. I think it looks stagnant in Romania, but we're gaining in the north here, definitely, and also I think a bit in southern Poland. Actually, it's probably just across the entire Polish front we're gaining on them. Which is a very promising sign, to be honest. I mean, it's going into winter, but possibly after the winter, if the Soviets have been driven back like this in conditions that suit them, when spring comes and my tanks can start moving well, we could really hammer them. Just pull another division back. Why did I have to start gaining ground once I ran out of manpower? Okay, a couple of divisions already back in Warsaw. So pull another one back. Nothing's happening in North Africa. East Africa doesn't really look like anything's happening. Oh, we're fighting here. It looks like it's mainly just being bombed and taking heavy losses. That's our manpower shortage is there, you can see. We're doing alright in Botswana and Zimbabwe. Haven't invaded South Africa at all though. I really wish we would invade South Africa. That would actually be really good. Just because then I could transfer all these troops that are in Africa, somewhere more useful. Or just start invading places like Saudi Arabia and Yemen and Oman and Turkey, Persia. Although, yeah, probably shouldn't really be considering starting new wars when I've got no manpower. They'll just get more of my soldiers killed. Still looks like we're losing ground in Romania. So I'm going to send my SS troops down here. Try the encirclement against the Black Sea. Lots of rivers to cross, unfortunately, but I think we can deal with it. I'm not strategically redeploying them, I'm just sending them a move order because that will allow them to regain some more organisation on the march here. You can see me plotting out my encirclement. Do I want to cross 2 rivers or only one? Head to Bender, then south along the river, or cross the river again and head straight to Odessa? I'll trap the same number of troops, it's just whether I want to risk doing 2 river crossings to capture Odessa or not. Oh, we're advancing closer into Lvov. And Brest-Litovsk we're still holding for now. Oh! We defeated the United Kingdom, puppeted them. So that's a new ally for us, I'll get to add it to the flag, the starting thing. And we also took some of the Middle Eastern lands. Oh, and the Iraqis got to keep their little bit of Libya. And look at all the land we've... Oh, we're even in the Americas now. A little bit of Canada there. Or Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, I think it is. And it looks like Iraq is now the leader of the Allies. And who's the UK at war with? I believe just the Soviet Union. But still, we've gained India. I wonder what kind of condition the UK's in. I don't think they have a lot of soldiers by the looks of them. Yeah, I'm really liking this little toehold in the Americas. It would be useful. And of course, I've also got lots of Caribbean islands and the like. So, if we go to war with the USA, that's going to come in handy. Gibraltar's changed sides. Well, it hasn't really changed sides. I've been occupying it for a long time, though. Since 1940, I believe. And I've gained all this ground. I was actually intending to release puppets there. just no idea what I'm doing here. I'm trying to create a new headquarters. That's right. I'm trying to create an Oberkommando Asia to take care of things in the Middle East for me. But it won't let me start another headquarters, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why I can't find another headquarters. The reason is I don't have any manpower, so I won't be able to find any more headquarters for a while yet. Which basically means that I'm ordering them to strategically redeploy them, but for some reason they're not. I assume there's provinces in the way with zero infrastructure that are blocking them. It's the only thing I can think of that would prevent them from doing that move. Then I'll just join them back up to Oberkommando Africa, and the Middle East is going to be part of Africa. And yeah, it's kind of another one of the stupid divisions that the AI likes to make for me. But at least I send them all to Africa where I don't care about them. And nope, this guy also cannot make a new core HQ to make a new theatre eventually. So, just means Oberkommando Africa is going to have to get a few new objectives here in the Middle East. Oh, actually, it's already got them all. So, oh, again, the English Channel, because the UK is my ally now. So yeah, that's good. Back to focusing on the Soviet Union, I suppose. Oh yeah, there's the Royal Navy was still sitting in Scale Flow, but heavily damaged though. Well, it's bad now because it means it all have to repair, but it does mean that I was inflicting some pretty serious losses on the British in this little North Sea engagement here, or the series of North Sea engagements we're having. Probably they also didn't have the industrial capacity to actually repair them, but no matter. Oh no, yeah, I'll send Britain to, and Portugal to try and take these objectives. I should say the UK rather than Britain, but you know what I mean. And Iraq's going to be a new target. Not just in the UK there, and the UK should also fight Ethiopia, who I'm also at war with. Yeah, and I've already got them set to puppet, so that's good. And actually the Netherlands are right by them, as are Australia and New Zealand, who I'm also at war with. But Australia and New Zealand aren't doing much. They've been leaving the French alone in the French, well, Indochina for the whole game so far. So I suppose for now we're just going to keep fighting the Soviets. Probably a while till the British can actually help us, and whether they send any troops to fight on the continent, not the confident. Whether they send any troops to fight on the any troops to fight on the continent will be another matter. But yeah, actually it looks like we might be holding them in Romania, well kind of. Heavy armoured divisions pushed right into where I wanted my SS troops to stage their attack. And my SS troops haven't moved very far at all yet. And actually, our encirclement's not going to be able to happen anymore. Just we're a little bit too, well, not from where we wanted to start, we're just a little bit too far away from the coast. But I'm sure I'll figure something out once we get there. Yep, 69th. It's retreating again. It's always retreating, so I can never disband it. Okay. And especially since I've got no manpower, now would be a good time to disband it. I hate waiting. I'll be back in a bit. Not giving transit rights to anybody. There's Yemen and Oman gobbling up our lands. Oh, create puppets, yes, I forgot to do this. Egypt, Palestine, Israel, Jordan. Israel and Palestine seem mutually exclusive, so we'll do Egypt and Jordan, because of course I want the puppets. And Israel and Palestine. Well, they can't because they've got a different number of provinces. I'm kind of thinking Israel isn't really an ahistorical choice for the Nazis to found. For a long time they were proposing to set up a Jewish state and basically exile all the Jews in Europe to there where they wouldn't be able to, you know, harm the Germans. Which sounds absolutely ridiculous considering the Holocaust, but whatever. So, Israel. And we can still create Palestine. They weren't mutually exclusive. They must be... yeah, that's like the 1947 or something borders. Actually, not even that. I think it's after the first Arab-Israeli war borders. But I'll order them to all go and fight Iraq. Well, since Iraq is the leader of the Allies now, it's, yep, an important country to fight. And my Overcommander Africa, oh, looks like they're sending troops. Yeah, they've landed troops in Kuwait. The garrison division, in fact. So that's going to be good. Able to take the fight straight to the Iraqis. And I probably don't really need those to be defensive priorities for the Irish anymore. Although I really wish the Irish had ships. Just because they've actually got a pretty big army. And if they'd be able to use it in Europe, I would really appreciate it. But they aren't. And yeah, I don't need those new 4 to fight on the Eastern Front. It's currently December, so 1 more month till we get our new SS divisions. Things aren't looking great for us in Romania, but we're still advancing in Poland. I think it's slowed down a lot since I've taken my SS out of the fight. We're still going forward. We've captured Lvov now. So, yeah. We're actually almost up to the post-Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact Poland border, or I should say post the German annexation, historically German annexation border. Which, well, almost into Soviet lands. That was good. I was feeling a bit pessimistic at the start of this episode, but obviously we've turned things around a little bit at least. I'm not entirely sure what's caused it. It's just the Soviets are going backwards. And that's what we want to see. I don't really have to worry about invasions now with basically all of Europe, including the United Kingdom, in my hands. I just don't think there's really anywhere close enough for someone to launch an invasion from. I mean, unless they captured the Azores or something like that. And by they, I'm obviously talking about the United States, because who else is there to fight me at the moment? I mean, I suppose Australia could attempt something, or Canada. Canada more likely. But I'm not really that scared of Canada at the moment. Oh, my convoys are... I don't have enough ships to ship all these resources from my puppets to my capital. We're building more. Soon we will be, at least. Building troops for Africa first, because I want to get South Africa out of the game. And well, now they've also got to deal with Iraq and Yemen and Oman. But I'm still just stoked that Britain's on my side now. Powerful navy as well, that could come in handy. My SS troops getting down there. Pushed well past Lvov now. Actually, yeah, only 2 provinces away from the Soviet border. Probably haven't been this far from them in like, I don't know, 8 episodes, 10 episodes? It's been a while. Yeah, I could do a sneaky little encirclement there. I really just want to get rid of that heavy armoured division because that's been leading all the Soviet attacks in Romania. And my troops and the Romanians obviously just can't deal with it. But where are my SS troops? Nope. They'll be somewhere around here, hopefully. Huh. Are they still around Lvov? Oh, there's some of them. Yeah, they're just passing through Lvov now, so they've got a long way to go. but they'll get there eventually. Travel about 2/3 of the distance they had to. And look at how far back Warsaw is from the front lines now. What a change from 2 episodes ago. Of course, Bucharest has gotten much closer to the front lines, but we'll ignore that for now. And yep, Stalingrad's still an objective that I want my allies to try and capture. Can't say anything if I'm not optimistic. Oh yeah, decent advances into Iraq, although they've taken a little bit of Jordan from us. And yet we are going to puppet Iraq. And we'll leave it there. So the big news this episode is we got the UK, well, 2 big things. We got the UK as a puppet, which won't mean much in the short term because I'm assuming I've basically destroyed their army. But in the long term, they're very powerful and they're on our side. And they've got a huge navy. We don't have to worry about invasions from America. So it's all good. The other big thing is we're pushing the Soviets back, and we're pushing them back quite rapidly, or at least a lot more rapidly than we've seen before, and we're holding our gains. So we've taken Brest-Litovsk this episode, we've taken Lvov, and all the lands in between. Only concern really is the Romanian front, where they are still pushing us slowly back. But as you've seen, I've got the SS troops moving down there, so that should be resolved in the next episode. Anyway, well, I've completely changed my tune from the start of this episode. I was feeling pessimistic, now I'm feeling very optimistic. But I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all next time.